Welcome to everyone. Welcome to the Meditation Museum. We're very, very honored to have with us Dr. Nikhil Patel, who is a consultant, a neuropsychologist at the Brahma Kumaris Hospital in Mount Abu. We know it as a global hospital. And it's a very, very, very unique place where healthcare is approached from not just a point of view of medicine, but in a much more holistic manner. And so Dr. Patel is going to talk to us today about holistic healthcare and from the experience that he's had as a psychiatrist at that hospital. You have spent all of your career actually at Global Hospital, yes indeed. And one of his specialties that he's done a lot of research in is in addiction and using meditation as a tool in curing addiction. But he's going to talk to us about much, much broader things than that today. And so without further ado, please welcome Dr. Nikhil.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
It so happened that this time around I was invited by the American Society of Addiction Medicine as a guest speaker in the annual conference of the American Society of Addiction Medicine, which was held in Washington Hilton Hotel in Washington between 14th to 18th of this month. And there was a symposium on international perspective of addiction management. Addictions overall is on the rise, especially in the developed countries. And it's a big concern for World Health Organization and the psychiatric societies in the developed countries. And I was invited to share my Indian perspective to talk about the role of Indian culture, yoga and meditation. India is one of the few countries where addictions is on the downturn, especially addictions to the hard drugs, And there is a reason for it, which I shared. I did some research on Raj Yoga meditation, which helps people come out of addictions in a natural manner without taking concurrent psychiatric treatment. And subsequently, I have been moving around to different places to give lectures on holistic health and spirituality and psychiatry and stress management. Since by profession I'm a psychiatrist. This is a topic which I like the most for busy people. I see some people in the morning when they are on the run like robots or machines, and I feel pity about them, honestly. All psychiatrists feel pity about those who remain extremely busy, extremely stressed out, burnt out, to a point that they break down, and there is no point of breathing while they break down. And often these days I am lecturing on how to avoid consulting a psychiatrist. In other words, how to maintain your health in such a way that you can prevent breaking down and keep yourself healthy all the time. And this particular topic which I am going to talk to you today is nothing else but some practical, genuine tips how to keep oneself healthy, not only physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so that you can avoid consulting a psychiatrist and save some money. I know psychiatrists charge quite a lot. In most of the developed countries, psychiatrists are in great demand. They are not at fault. is a lifestyle which is at fault. The average waiting period to get an appointment from a psychiatrist in America is about 3 months. I know because I have my friends over here. I'm also a member of American Psychiatric Association. And at times, we psychiatrists feel that rather than patients coming into our clinics and have consultation, why don't we go out and address the gatherings or audiences and give them sessions of counseling, positive thinking, cognitive behavior therapy, some advice, expertise on lifestyle changes. And that's the reason I make a point to visit some of the countries around the world at least twice in a year. It's also my hobby to get out of the clinic and address a bigger gathering so that you have less stress in the society. And in turn, you have less stress upon the psychiatrists themselves. And here I am. Today I am going to talk to you how to keep oneself healthy. This is the hospital where I am working. It's a model hospital of holistic healthcare, and it's a charitable one. It's patronized by none other than Brahma Kumaris. The poor patients are treated absolutely free. The rich are also treated free, but then if they have to undergo any major surgery or any major intervention medical, then of course they pay, but very nominal, This is the latest definition of health. How many of you are doctors here? Are there any doctors here? Or any nurses or psychologists? Yes. 60 years back, when the definition of health was taught world over in the medical colleges, it was only physical health. If you are physically healthy, you are completely healthy. It so happened that World Health Organization kept on revising the definition of health. In the 60s, they came to know that it's mind which governs the body. It's the psyche that heals the body. It's the psyche which causes stress. And they included mental health in the definition of holistic health. Subsequently, they found out it's not just enough. Mental health and physical health are shaped by the families, by the society we live in, the relationships that we have. So they revised the definition and included social health. Until late 90s, spiritual health was under a lot of debate in different sessions of World Health Organization. And because most of the people had a notion that spiritual health is probably synonymous with the religiosity, Subsequently, they found out it has nothing to do with religion. Spirituality is all values and virtues and enlightenment, awareness, heightened awareness about yourself, and to master yourself, to be the master of your own self. Not others, of course, but yourself first. And subsequently, in 1998, way back in 1998, not that far, recently, they included spiritual health in the definition of holistic health. In other words, if someone is physically, mentally, socially healthy, but if he or she is not spiritually healthy, I'll let you know what spiritual health consists of. He or she is not completely healthy. We all know about this. Needless to say, these are the latest criteria of good physical health. Good hygiene, cleanliness. There is always a margin of cleanliness, you know that? No house or no office is 100% clean. there is always a scope for more cleanliness. At times we doctors joke, whatever you see through your eyes has to be neat and clean and tidy, so that you don't catch infections, You catch infections where there are bacteria, viruses. So in other words, if you want to have good physical health, if you want to avoid yourself developing flu, viral fever, dysenteries, fever, infectious diseases, this is the very first foundation of having good health. Of late, research has shown inconclusively. There were lots of debates about veg versus non-veg diet. I'll let you know what the latest research is all about. I have a slide on it. Why the veg diet is so catching up amongst the people, even amongst the doctors. It was so that most of the airlines used to serve non-veg diet about 30 years back. The 80% of the menu was non-veg, and now it's other way around. 80% of the menu of all international national airlines is non-veg, veg diet. The tourists, the passengers ask for the veg diet. So there is a turnaround. I'll let you know why. There are medical and genuine scientific reasons behind it. Moderate aerobic exercises. There's a lot of buzz about exercise, There are some people claim jogging is the best exercise. Some others say the swimming is the best exercise. One study claims that it's hoping at one place is best, so on and so forth. All in all, if you do the meta-analysis of all the researches, it comes down to a point that if you have moderate aerobic exercise in a day with stretching of major joints like neck, shoulder, back, knee joint, it's perfect. You need not go for gym. If you have, say, your house on the 3rd story, rather than using the lift, if you climb down the stairs 3-4 times in a day, that's your natural aerobic exercise. So nowadays, the consensus among doctors, the cardiologists, the physician is, if you have moderate aerobic exercise, it's not just good for your physical health, but it's also good for your mental health. And of course, regular physical checkups is also a prerequisite to maintain your physical health. Because there are certain illnesses, if you can catch up them, diagnose them in the beginning, you can prevent them or you can take care of them in the beginning itself. Say for example, breast cancer. The very first stage or second stage, if it is diagnosed, it's almost curable. It's curable, So any major illness which is in the prodromal phase, early phase, is picked up only when you have regular physical checkups from your family doctors. This is what I was talking about. In the beginning of 19th century, in the end of 19th century, in the beginning of 20th century, most of the slaughter homes were established, especially in America. There were few sponsored studies which were carried out by some companies or slaughter homes, and used to claim that non-veg diet contains a lot of protein, and protein is required for health. They used to claim that there are a lot many vitamins which are more in non-veg diet, and in order to have vitamin B12, they talk, you need to go for the non-veg diet. It contains more protein, even the eggs and omelette and things like that, Nobody was eating about 200 years back, I guess. If you go into the history, you'll find out that the non-veg diet, the way people eat these days, was almost non-existent. It's only after some studies carried out by some pharmaceutical companies, some slaughter homes, that they came out with some information that it is better than the veg diet. And so people started turning towards a non-veg diet, the beginning of 19th century. At the end of 19th century and the beginning of 20th century. The doctors, the medical community was a little skeptical about the research studies. No research study is perfect unless and until it is replicated at many centers in the world with randomized controlled trials over a long period of time, and then you analyze the research and come to a conclusion that yes, this is the truth. One or two studies here and there may not give you the complete picture. It may be biased. So, it so happened that the doctors world over started researching and comparing the veg and the non-veg diet during 20th century. There were many long-term longitudinal studies which were carried out by doctors, especially in America. And they came out with the fact that veg diet causes less illnesses as compared to the non-veg diet. Although it contains more protein, but it contains a lot of cholesterol. The non-veg diet, it contains a lot of cholesterol, fats, especially the saturated fats. It contains a lot of the toxins. It contains steroids. And it causes innumerable number of illnesses, starting from hyperacidity to ulcers, to ulcerative colitis, to dysentery, to colon cancer, intestinal cancer, to hypertension, hypercholesterolemia, heart attacks, strokes of the brain, worm infestation. Forget about all this, the big list of illnesses that the non-veg diet causes. Of late, during the last 15 to 20 years, there have been many research studies carried out comparing the veg diet vis-a-vis non-veg diet to see what it affects, what is the effect of non-veg diet on psyche, on mental health. And it has been shown, it is very painful. The results that they show, the effect of non-veg diet on psyche. There is a chair over here, you can come inside, please come. There are two chairs over here, please come. The non-veg diet has been known to increase aggressive tendencies, criminal tendencies, and violent behavior as compared to the veg diet. So now the scientists, the medical scientists, are trying to find out whether there is any correlation between the violence in the world and the violence at an individual level caused by the non-veg diet. It's a very serious point of debate amongst the doctors, especially the neurologists and the psychiatrists. This is, in short, at the cost of protein content, you ingest a lot of cholesterol and fats, and you accumulate them within your arteries and heart, and it causes more heart attacks and strokes. Simple. It has less fiber content. Non-veg diet almost has no fibers in it, so it's not good for your gastrointestinal system. It can cause many problems, indigestion, dyspepsia, ulcers, and so on and so forth. Veg diet has a lot of fibers, and they are like the brooms for the intestine. They clean up your intestines, and you never ever develop constipation, and that's why salads, fruits, which is there in nature, if you consume it on a day-to-day basis, you need not take any laxative, you need not go for any stomach rinsing and cleansing of your tummy and things like that. There is a notion, as I told you earlier on, that non-veg diet is rich in vitamin B12, whereas the non-veg diet is deficient in vitamin B12. If you know the right combination of right veg diet, then there is no deficiency. You know, nature has produced vegetables, fruits, grains, legumes, and things like that only to provide the complete diet to the human beings. But we have been trying to manipulate nature, go against nature, and have developed a habit to get ourselves into trouble. Despite knowing all these facts, I have seen there are so many patients that we come across who aren't willing to quit the non-veg diet, despite having cancer in their colons, you know. So, in other words, the veg diet, especially the salads, the milk and milk products, sprouts, legumes, nuts, they are rich in vitamin B12. If you take them on daily basis in right combination, you will never ever develop vitamin B12 deficiency. The digestive system, human digestive system, right from teeth, oral cavity, to your food pipe, to stomach and intestines, is designed to digest only the veg food and not the non-veg food. It's for the wild animals, their whole digestive system, right from the teeth, the canines are big, you know, the claw, the canine teeth are big in order to, you know, clutch the non-veg, and then they have all different kinds of acids and digestive juices in the intestinal system, which is suited for non-veg diet. In short, if you want to enjoy good physical and mental health, think seriously and turn towards the veg diet as far as possible. People around have sometimes little skepticism or little ignorance as to what mental health is all about. Or sometimes they have stigma consulting psychiatrists like me. Oh, what the psychiatrists, are they going to analyze me? Or am I insane? So, you know, I go to the psychiatrist. Things like that. We generally look at the mental health of an individual with consultation and different psychological tests. You know, we don't go into the psyche or subconscious or unconscious of the patients. Many times it's not required. When it started way back in the late 18th century or 19th century, you know, Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, they were the pioneers of, or they were the fathers of psychiatry. Please come in. There are a few chairs over. Brother Veer, most welcome. It's the fact that in this world, as there is nobody who is completely physically healthy, similarly there is nobody who is completely mentally healthy. And if you want to be completely healthy, especially if you want to be completely mentally healthy, you need to follow certain tips. You need to keep certain points in mind. We psychiatrists look at only simple things, you know. When a patient comes to in our clinic, we look at the behavior, speech, mood, thinking, perception, intelligence, memory, concentration, etc., etc. Certain basic aspects of psyche, which is fundamental for every human being. And the fact is that we live in the age of anxiety. This age is known as age of anxiety, age of panic. There are certain terminologies which people describe, you know, age of depression, age of annihilation, some say, something like that. But the fact is, we are living in the world of stress. Right from childhood, youth to the old age, everybody is under stress. It's how you manage it, how you handle it, and don't land up into psychiatric illnesses. That's what the crux is. At times, there are certain physical illnesses which cause anxiety, depression. There's a very common illness called hypothyroidism, which can cause depression. There's an illness called even vitamin B12 or B complex deficiency can cause depression. Viral infections invariably lead to depression. Flu can lead to depression. So there are certain physical illnesses which can lead to depression. But unless and until you go to a doctor or your family doctor, you yourself cannot diagnose it. You just feel that you are at unease, you are depressed, and something wrong is going on, right? It's the duty of your family doctor to diagnose, or duty of the psychiatrist to come to arrive at a diagnosis by different tests and things like that. Of late, the concept of health has been soul, mind, body medicine. Psycho-social, spiritual model of healthcare. It's a continuum. You cannot separate it. Soul, mind, body, continuum. And that's what makes holistic health. What's social health all about? Before I let you know how to avoid consulting a psychiatrist, how to remain mentally healthy, spiritually healthy all the time, few words about social health. When I travel around from east to the west or the Middle East, I find that there is a difference in the overall health scenario of individuals. The people of the developed countries have better physical and mental health as compared to their counterparts in the East, undeveloped and developing countries. They have more physical illnesses, more depression, more anxiety. Here, it's the other way around. The social and spiritual health is worse than the people living in the developing countries or undeveloped countries. Whereas their social and spiritual health is much, much better than the people living in the developed countries. Here, the families are breaking. If you see over the years, most of the families are breaking down. The relationships, blood relationships, are becoming extinct. The relations have become shallow. People want instant pleasure. People want instant gratification. People want just comfort, wherever it comes from. Not necessarily from parents or brothers or sisters, Sometimes we say that if you want to have better social health, you need to develop good relations, not only with your colleagues and boss or subordinates at work, you need to have good relationships with everyone. Your family members, your friends, your neighbors, your in-laws, etc., etc. Anyone who comes in contact with you, round the clock, round the year, you should try to maintain good relationship with him or her. That's what your social health is all about. If you have good family relations, good relationships around, harmonious, stress-free, sweet relationships with everyone, your social health, your familial health becomes stronger, and that affects your mental health. So as far as possible, try to be social, familial, mixing, not only with your family members, but with your friends, with your colleagues, with your neighbors as well. Mind well. If you have good social health, only then you can have good national health. There is a scarcity of national unity, integrity, especially in the developed countries. Well, social health also pertains to your earnings. Human beings have become so greedy. Instead of need, there is a lot of greed these days. As someone says, people have started just living just for money, earning money. You have to earn money just to live, to have your livelihood, right? But people are having so greedy these days that they are trying to make millions. If they are not satisfied with millions, they want to have billions, and they are after money. And what happens? At the end, the net result is stress and stress-related problems. You see, you look at anybody's history. Somebody who makes a lot of money within a short span of time eventually lands up into stress, or eventually lands up into problems. And if you drive yourself for just making money at the cost of losing your families and friends and peace of mind, then you invite stress and stress-related problems. So, take care of your basic needs, earn sufficient enough to take care of family and yourself, and you'll have less stress and more peace of mind. There are some people who, especially the politicians go around, they are after name and fame, and their social health becomes absolutely poor. Social health and spiritual health. I'll come down to spiritual health as well. What are the points that makes spiritual health? But before I go to that, I fail in my duty if I don't let you know what stress is all about. Psychiatrists survive on stress, They make millions and billions because the patients have stress and they have to get rid of stress from the patients. Stress is the biggest killer in this world. Nobody is without stress. Nobody is immune to stress. Whether it's a child, teenager, or a senior citizen, right? Young or old, rich or poor. The rich has a different kind of stress. He has stress of losing money, anticipatory anxiety about losing money. The poor has anticipatory anxiety about having enough money for his livelihood. So mind well, everyone has stress in this world. But how to handle it is an art. As has been said and as has been observed everywhere in developed countries, we are always on the run. Right from the morning, like automatic machines, right? We are always on the run. We have to catch a bus or train or metro in order to reach office or school in time, right? And return back in time, go to bed in time, so that we wake up next day in time, and this cycle goes on and on, without thinking and pausing in between, and going within and asking oneself, what am I doing? After all, for what? At times, people become so burnt out to that point that they don't realize that they are stressed. And they have all relationship issues everywhere. They aren't happy with themselves either. Nor the people around him or her are happy. Only because they are stressed out. And their behavior, their speech, and their performance, everything becomes haywire, unhealthy. And then it becomes too late. So better to realize stress. The moment you realize that you are under stress, you are not at ease, you are not comfortable, something is wrong somewhere. I need to take care of myself. Has anybody ever seen or observed that he is absolutely healthy throughout the day without trace of stress? Is there anybody here? No stress at all. Not at all. It's not possible. So, in other words, we need to be completely healthy, take care of our own selves in such a way that we remain away from stress all the time. And that's why I'm here. You know how many percentage of illnesses are caused by stress? About 80% of the physical illnesses, right from viral fever, common cold, to high blood pressure, to heart disease, to cancer, are caused by stress. Stress, if maintained for a long time, can affect your organ. Those who have inherited the genes of cancer would develop cancer. Those who have inherited the genes of diabetes would develop diabetes. Those who are genetically prone to develop ulcers will develop ulcers. The body that you have inherited from your parents has a genetic makeup. About 0.1% of our genes are abnormal. And those genes triggered, they are triggered when someone has stress. If you handle stress, if you manage stress, none of your organ, even if you are genetically predisposed, hereditary predisposition will not allow you to develop that disease. So for example, the diabetes runs in the families. There are 5 family members who have diabetes. But if you never ever experience stress, or even if you experience it, don't let it go down for a long time, you will never develop diabetes. It's stress which increases sugar. It is stress which increases blood pressure. It is stress which precipitates and maintains a particular illness. And it is that particular stress which hinders your recovery from illness. So, please be serious in taking care of yourself. At times, once or twice in a day, you need to pause, just be with yourself. Just sit in a quiet position and ask yourself, are you relaxed? Are you stress-free? Are you doing well? We always are extrovert. Ask everybody else around, oh, how are you? How do you do? But we ourselves probably forget to ask ourselves. That's where stress builds up and goes unhealthy. What happens if somebody is exposed to stress for a long time, is unable to handle it? These are the common symptoms of severe stress and disease. If you experience continuous fatigue, weakness, despite having good diet and tonics, if you develop less interest in your studies or job, or your profession, or your relationships, that's one of the symptoms and signs of stress or illness. If your mood is irritable, anxious, or depressed, to experience depression for a moment or few minutes is normal. But if it lasts for a couple of hours or a couple of days, it's abnormal. Frequent weeping. If you cry, to cry once, weep once, is okay. We psychiatrists take it normal. Although it's not normal, but we have certain, criteria to diagnose. If somebody weeps again and again without any reason, is again a symptom of depression. or psychiatric illness. What happens when stress builds up? People try to find ways out. They try to get rid of their stress in their own ways. Sometimes they start smoking, sometimes they start drinking, sometimes they go over different kinds of addictions, and that's how they trap into addictions. So addictions indirectly suggest that person is under stress. How many of you smoke? Be honest. One? Only one. How many of you drink alcohol? Not once in a month, but 10-15 days in a month, something like that. Okay, many. I guess and I hope nobody of you has any hard drug addiction. That's a killer. It takes you down to Hawaii. And we psychiatrists have a very difficult time to treat this kind of patients who have hard drug addictions, you know. Addictions indirectly is again a sign of stress. What are other symptoms, common symptoms? Forgetfulness, memory impairment, constant headache, aches and pains. These are again symptoms of stress. If your sleep is disturbed, your appetite is not good, you're eating too much or you're eating too less, then what is required? Again is a sign of stress. And on top of it, if you have frequent ruminations, waste thoughts, negative thoughts, obsessions, worries, phobias, delusions and hallucinations, they are all symptoms of psychiatric illness. And if you don't take them seriously, don't take them, handle effectively, get rid of it in time, that builds up and leads to some complications. Untreated illness, whether it's a physical illness or a psychiatric illness, leads to complications. And these are the complications. You will have dissatisfaction in job if you don't take care of your depression or anxiety. You will have bitter relations. You will have unnecessary visits to faith healers, astrologers, and whatnot. Okay? You'll trap into the addictions. As I said earlier, if depression builds up, it becomes so severe, then you have suicidal and homicidal tendencies. Or if you have bipolar, you know, we psychiatrists sometimes joke, you know, those who tell that they want to kill themselves or kill others have psychosis or have severe psychiatric illness. Need to handle them properly. It happens only when stress is not handled in the beginning, in the early phase. And then it builds up to that a level when bipolar depression or bipolar disease or schizophrenia and things like that develop, you know, and then you have these complications. And of course, if you don't take it in time, don't treat your stress and depression in time, you will have wastage of time, energy, money, all your resources would be at loss. So how do you improve your mental health in order to avoid consulting psychiatrists and save some money in this time of recession, slow down? Here are some tips. Although most of my colleagues don't like when I say all these things, you know, because you lose patience, you lose money, and that is not desirable. But I always like to do this. The very first point that we say, if you want to improve your mental health and enjoy holistic health, perform your job sincerely, accurately, with utmost honesty and integrity. We have different assigned roles given by God. All of us. We are the fathers at home. We might be the managers at work. We are the drivers while we are driving the car. We have different roles even in a given day, even on a given day. And if we don't quickly adjust to each and every role, then you can have stress. There should be very quick reversal from one role to the other. If you are a boss at office and you come down to home And if you carry on your bossism at home with your wife and children, you know, you are very well experienced. I need not say about this. So there has to be very quick adjustment and quick flexibility in role reversal, what we call role reversal, you know. In order to remain stress-free, always try to be on the giver's side. Try to help others. Try to give happiness. Don't expect happiness from others. It automatically comes to you. I know, in your office or at your workplace or in the school, you might have friends, few friends who are really nasty. They would trouble each and everyone. Yeah? No matter however happiness you give them, no matter however friendly and loving you are, but in return, you will get pain and trouble and accusations and abuses from them. They are the psychotics and neurotics. Leave them aside for psychiatrists, okay? But you try to be harmonious on the giver's side. You always love them, respect them, regard them, and try to help them. If you want to avoid stress, enjoy health, what I'm saying is all scientific stuff. A lot of studies are there. I need not go into the details of it, but I'll let you know the essence of what is happening in stress management. The fourth important, very important point is try to have a balance in your daily routine. Balance, I mean, in our daily routine, we have three things that we carry out around the clock that keeps us running. Diet, rest, and exercise, or any activity, right? Either we are eating, or we are doing some job, or studying, or we are resting. Okay, that's what our daily routine consists of. If you maintain a balance between your diet, rest, and exercise, it's a triangle, it's a kind of a triangle. These three aspects of your daily routine should be in moderation. Neither too much of rest on a given day, nor too much of exercise. Neither too much of food, nor fasting for a long time. These are all unhealthy, mind well. Moderate amount of rest, exercise, and small frequent diets in moderate amounts is healthy. If you have imbalance in these three things, you can develop stress and uneasiness. The fifth point, very important, make sure that sleep is sound and refreshing. You know, when it happens that when you go to your relative's place or when you're traveling, you may not have that sound sleep or you may not have that much of sleep. But on an average, you require about 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Adults require 7 to 8 hours of sound, refreshing sleep within 24 hours time. It can be at a stretch at time. It can be into parts. Afternoon nap is very, very healthy, provided you have a break during your job. Okay? Try to finish the quota, the minimum quota of your sleep. 7 to 8 hours, we psychiatrists recommend. If you want to enjoy good physical and mental health, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, within 24 hours time is desirable. I know there are some people who are very, very busy during their working days. They have less sleep. They have probably 5 hours of sleep a day. Then there is another way out. We recommend that during your weekends, Saturday, Sunday, make a point to sleep a little extra. And try to compensate. Try to finish up the backlog that you had during 5 working days. That is refreshing, rejuvenating, and makes you keep running and keeps you stress-free. You know, stress takes a toll somewhere. In order to achieve something, in order to make money, in order to earn something, there is always a toll on something else. You pay tax somewhere, whether in the form of less sleep, or less food, or overeating. Sometimes, some people are under stress and they just go on eating while they are walking, while they are sitting in the office, or while they are traveling or wherever. And then the weight goes on increasing. They don't notice it, it's piling up. And they lead to obesity. Obesity again leads to many other illnesses. Hypertension and arthritis and heart disease and backaches and things like that. So, try to have moderate amount of diet, food, adequate rest, and moderate exercise. Strenuous exercise can cause more stress. Especially in the cold weather, those who are going for jogging, they are completely burnt out when they reach home. And they would shout at their parents, they will shout at their siblings. When you run for a long time in cold weather, sweat a lot, you lose electrolytes, you lose water from your body, and electrolyte imbalance is one of the causes of irritability, anxiety, depression, exhaustion. So, in other words, moderate amount of exercise on a given day, on a regular basis, is what is required. Avoid fasting and binge eating. Very, very important. One of the causes of memory impairment, common causes of memory impairment in students is low sugar, blood sugar. In the morning, they reach to the school without taking breakfast. Our blood sugar falls down after 6 to 7 hours of fasting. If we had, say, for example, dinner at night time, the previous night at 9 o'clock, and you wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock, you don't take anything, you don't take bed tea or milk, and you go to your work or school without taking breakfast. You are running with low blood sugar, especially in the cold weather. To maintain the body temperature in cold weather, you require sugar, you require calories in your body, and you don't have calories in the morning. You go to your work or school without taking breakfast, and it causes a lot of problems. Low blood sugar can lead to irritability, anxiety, forgetfulness, less concentration, attention in the school, especially among the students. Or you are likely to commit mistakes at workplace. You might commit frequent mistakes, and you can be scolded by your boss. Oh, what are you doing? I told you to do this thing, you're doing the same mistake again and again. Gentleman, the poor gentleman is not following this, the breakfast. It's a fasting. Okay? So, avoid fasting for a long time. At the same time, avoid binge eating. There are some people who eat large amount of food within a short period of time. That's again not healthy. When you eat quite a lot, the blood reaches to the digestive system to digest the food, and the brain is deprived of blood. Your legs, your hands are deprived of adequate blood supply, and then it causes stress. So, avoid binge eating as well. As I told you earlier on, moderate aerobic exercise with stretching of major joints is a natural antidepressant. You need not take antidepressants if you have moderate aerobic exercise on a regular basis. If you want to avoid stress, try to build and maintain your cheerful mood. When you are not cheerful, that's a signal, a warning signal that something is wrong somewhere, and try to rectify it. In order to enjoy good mental health, in order to cope with any stress, try to maintain mediocre lifestyle. There are many research studies carried out worldwide has conclusively proven that if you maintain your lifestyle mediocre, not too high, not too low, middle class, upper middle class, you can handle stress in a better manner. We live in this world, it's called Iron Age, Kali Yuga, age of anxiety. Anything can happen at any time. Any disaster can strike at any time. Everywhere it happens, in Japan, whether it's Japan or Haiti or anything, anywhere. If earthquake strikes right now, just assume we are down onto the road, houses are collapsed. Just assume. And if you have to face the cold weather, would you be able to handle that? Ask yourself. In other words, if you have a mediocre lifestyle, not too luxurious, wherein you are used to have all luxuries, you cannot survive without luxuries. It's very difficult to face any disaster, natural disaster. And it can lead to, we call post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, things like that. So, please avoid posh, luxurious lifestyle. At the same time, try to get rid of poverty as well. Poverty also has been known to cause more stress. Insufficient enough, which can sustain your family, which can sustain yourself for a longer period of time. Financial managers advise you to have some kind of savings which can be of use to you in the time of emergencies. Many of the Americans don't have a habit to save money. On the contrary, they have a habit to take debts. They borrow a lot. Everything is on mortgage. The country runs on the mortgage, I guess. Debts, not many debts here and there. And to have a habit of building debts instead of having more savings is stressful. Mind well, it's not going to take you to the path of happiness and peace. So, in other words, try to save money, try to manage your finances in such a way that at least you can survive in the times of crisis, right? If you have a family member who has a problem and you have to spend $50,000, you need to have a certain amount of saving with you, which can take care of your family, which can take care of yourself in case of emergencies. So, mediocre lifestyle. Of late, there is a fancy to talk about different kinds of management, you know that? Time management, money management, space management, and whatnot, sleep management, But if you manage all your resources, properly, you probably won't have stress. 10th point, which is a very, very debatable. Since when Sigmund Freud, the father of psychiatry, psychoanalyst, he was a neurologist, that Austrian neurologist Sigmund Freud, who is considered to be the father of psychiatry, started the field of psychiatry. He proposed certain theories which were so influential at that point in time, it spread like a wildfire the world over. Many of his theories of mind, conscious, unconscious mind, id, ego, superego, you might have heard about it, you might have read somewhere, right? The same Sigmund Freud, once upon a time, proposed very interesting theory, and that spread like a wildfire in the world. He said, if an individual suppresses sexual and aggressive impulses, he can develop psychiatric illness. I'm just telling you in simple terminology so as to make you comprehend what I'm saying. He talked something very highly technical terms, He said if you suppress your sexual instinct, sexual impulses, it can lead you to psychosis and neurosis. That particular theory, at that point in time, spread like a wildfire. In the beginning of 20th century, I'm talking about. And this was interpreted by the doctors world around, oh, here we have got. In other words, enjoy sex to any extent, and you will remain happy. But most of the doctors and most of the psychiatrists, many of the psychiatrists, are not aware of the fact that the same Sigmund Freud subsequently gave a theory of sublimation. Theory of sublimation. What he meant by sublimation? He said, if you abstain from sex with full understanding and try to have friendly, cordial, loving relationship with God in subtle form. He is your companion, He is your lover, He is your boyfriend, He is your friend, He is your father, He is your mother. If you develop all the relationship with God, this is what Sigmund Freud said, and you abstain from sex, in other words, you observe celibacy, that's the most mature understanding. Same Sigmund Freud, after about 20 years, he proposed this particular theory. It is there in the textbooks of psychiatry. Unfortunately, most of the psychiatrists themselves don't follow and don't advise their patients to follow celibacy. Celibacy has tremendous health benefits. Most of the athletes, sportsmen, are advised to follow celibacy before they participate in any international event. Most of the astronauts are taught how to remain celibate before they go into space. So many saints and seers who follow the path of celibacy have more spiritual enlightenment. Those who follow celibacy, advertently or inadvertently, achieve success in their profession. This is what I'm saying is all scientific stuff. In other words, if you want to enjoy peace and stress-free life, try to follow as far as possible the celibate lifestyle. It's a need of the hour as well, mind well. It has been whirled around. In the name of liberty, there has been a lot of promiscuity. There is a lot of unhealthy misbehavior. It can lead to so many illnesses. It can lead to so many relationships problems. And then you will land up into a clinic of a psychiatrist one day. Try to follow what your conscience say. Okay? Yes, most of the sociologists say that yes, you have to have sex when you have a family, when you marry, just for procreation. But then, beyond certain limits, it becomes abnormal, it becomes pathological, it becomes unhealthy, and it leads to more problems. 11th point. Of late, there is a lot of buzz about different yoga and meditation techniques. Day before yesterday, we went to downtown and saw a meditation center, dog down meditation, dog down yoga. What a trivializing and dehumanizing, demonizing, in a way, demonizing the yoga, the sacred, sacrosanct, revered meditation in yoga. You know, we psychiatrists have studied different kinds of meditation and yoga techniques. There are 155 official yoga techniques worldwide, more than that. There are some yoga techniques which just teach you some physical postures, breathing, asanas, deep breathing, different kinds of postures. There are certain meditation techniques which change you, how to change your cognition, your thinking, your belief system. One of them is Raj Yoga, Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga. And over the period, we the psychiatrists have studied the health benefits of these yoga techniques. All yoga techniques give you health benefits, more or less. Those techniques which work at the physical level gives you physical benefits, which is limited. Those meditation techniques which work at the mental level, psyche level, change your belief system, change your cognitions, change your value system, change your thinking processes, are the better ones. They give you the maximum health benefits. The popular saying goes like, as is the mind, so is the body. Right? So if you change your mind, change your thinking, in turn it affects your body and you have more health benefits. Rajayoga meditation, which is being taught by Brahma Kumaris, I am not expert on teaching you meditation technique. I'll give you the glimpse of it. It's Sister Jena or David Bhai or, who are here running the meditation center would give you very professional stuff on meditation. But I'll let you know what Rajayoga meditation does as far as health is concerned. It gives you complete relaxation. I have one more slide to tell you about meditation, what is that and what it does and what it does not. But Rajayoga meditation is one which has the maximum health benefits because it strikes at the root level. It changes your soul and psyche. If you want to get rid of stress, 12th point, important. Always donate your excess resources. All of us are bestowed upon by God with certain excess resources, whether it's money, whether it's material, whether it's talent, whether it's time. The mothers have a lot of time. That's the biggest resource for them. They can utilize it for the family, right? So whatever resource that we have, whatever specialities we have, should be donated for the benefit of others. In turn, it is a natural stress buster. You help others and you get reward and blessings, sense of fulfillment, and that keeps you stress-free. 13th point, which I many times say, always associate yourself with some NGOs, some NPOs, non-profit organizations, where there is complete charity, without any selfless motive. In other words, wherever there is altruistic service in any form, whether it's social charity or spiritual charity or any other kind of charity, and if you associate yourself with this kind of institutions, one of them is Rotary Club. Rotary International is doing a lot of job, physically, materialistically, wherever there is a disaster, earthquake or any catastrophe, they are the ones who, reach and provide with different kinds of materials. So is the Brahma Kumaris. They have the world, they have the centers around in 135 countries. They do a lot of charity, spiritual level, upliftment of your character, upliftment of your personality, upliftment of your strength and willpower. So these are the institutions, if you associate yourself with, you get natural sense of well-being, fulfillment. That's this natural stress buster. As I said earlier, you need to manage your resources very well in order to be stress-free. 15 point, very important. Always try to develop a hobby. It's said that the person who has no hobby probably has no purpose of life, right? Every one of us should have at least one or two hobbies. I have a hobby of yoga, meditation. One of my hobbies is reading as well. One of my hobbies is cleaning. Of course, I'm a doctor, so you can expect that. But then everyone can have his or her own hobby, which appeals to you, So you can have your hobby wherein you spend some time, maybe a couple of hours a week or half an hour a day, wherein you feel relaxed. You are out of your stress, you are out of your job, you are out of your running schedule, right? And that gives you relaxation. 16th point, to avoid stress, avoid high-tech gadgets. You know why? There are certain research studies which are carried out by the doctors or psychiatrists. Say, for example, you have a cell phone, an old model, which is working very well otherwise. It has got just few operations, 5 switches and digits. And you update yourself by looking at your friends, oh, she has got a high-tech phone, Let me have it, let me own it. And you go for it. How stress builds up. You have to unlearn your old cell phone. You have to unlearn the operation of your cell phone, and you have to learn and update yourself with a new cell phone. And there are some people who have a habit to have this kind of gadgets every now and then. They update the gadgets very regularly, and they are under stress. Their human interaction decreases, their interaction with the cell phones increase. Their interaction with the machines and gadgets increase at the cost of reducing the human relationships. That's where stress builds. So please avoid high-tech gadgets, except those who are computer engineers. Of course, they have to update themselves, right? They have to update themselves in regard to laptops and DVD players and GPS and video phone and whatnot, So, if you want to enjoy stress-free life, try to be with the basic necessary gadgets which are must. How to run your vacuum, how to run your washing machine, how to run your dishwasher, how to run your computer and read the emails and reply to the emails, how to drive your car. This is basic, okay, unavoidable. Beyond these limits, beyond these gadgets, if you try to catch with technology, which is fast updating itself, you will be under stress. So please avoid high-tech gadgets, especially the youngsters, the kids, okay? 17th point. Always seize positivity and speciality amongst others. Everyone has one or two specialities, qualities, within the family, with our friends. If you look at just negativities of others, you become negative. If you see the positivity, goodness, qualities of others, it comes back to you. In turn, it increases your goodness. It builds up your positivity and you remain stress-free. So within the family, within the friend circle, at workplace, always try to look at the specialities, good qualities of the people around. Don't look at the weaknesses. Okay? 18th point. Healthy home. Very important. You need to have optimum stimuli in your home surroundings. Like, air condition was put on. This is good. You need to have around 70 to 75 degree of Fahrenheit temperature. You need to have optimum light in your house. You need to have optimum sound level in your house. Too less of sound causes loneliness, depression. Too much of noise. There are some people who put their television on or DVD player on with so much loud volume. It causes stress. Optimum level of sound, light, air conditioning is what healthy home is about, Air conditioning has a problem. Most of the air conditioners in America have air conditioning which causes dry, cold air. We need to have at least 40% of humidity in air. We doctors recommend that you need to have at least 40% of humidity for normal breathing, for your lungs to function. There has to be minimum 40% of humidity in the atmosphere. And we don't have it. Most of the cars that we use, the air condition causes dry, cool air. And that's why we have to use certain moisturizers and Vaseline and stuff like that, because in order to make our, skin dried up, we need to use all this stuff. Better keep a humidifier, especially in your bedroom where you sleep for 5-6 hours. Keep a humidifier, or put some water in a bowl at night time. Let the AC run. This is very, very important. Mind well. If you are exposed to air conditioning for a long time with zero humidity, it causes headaches, it causes burning in your eyes, it causes dryness, the dryness of your nose, or your respiratory system, and you can be prone to develop common cold, cough, breathlessness, etc. etc. You can be infected with allergens more if you are used to live in dry, cold atmosphere. So, in other words, healthy home is what you have in your surroundings. Okay? I always say, if you want to be stress-free, prepare yourself for the worst. Prepare yourself for the worst. What may happen? The worst? Die. Right? The spiritualists say you never die. It's the body which dies. You are an imperishable soul. If you have that kind of thinking, well, it requires efforts, but then it gives you comfort. It gives you a comfort zone. But mentally, always be prepared for the worst and hope for the best. So many good things happen in the world around, right? So many good things happen to our family members, to our friends. And if you look at those good things happening, you will feel very happy about it. There are so many bad things that happen. But yes, be prepared mentally to face any eventuality. But hope for the best. That keeps you running. 20th point. If you want to be stress-free, break monotony. That's what you have done today. Right? You have been at your homes during weekends moving around. Today you have made it here. Or you might have gone for excursion somewhere. So try to break monotony once or twice in a month, or especially during vacation, and that is a welcome change for you in order to get rid of stress. So try to have a change in your daily monotonous life. And last but not the least, always believe in Him, the Supreme Almighty God Father. He is there. He is there somewhere. Whether you know Him or not, He is taking care of you all. He is concerned about the world, not just you as a human being, but you need to have faith in Him. He is one. He is one. And I guess these Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris have a fortune to be in the company of God. And if you want to develop relationship with God, you need to be in touch with Sister Jenna and Sister Nachida, who are taking care of the Washington Center. Meditation has been talked about quite a lot, and it can be used as a medication, as an adjunct. Mind well, meditation cannot replace the medication many times. Sometimes there is a hype about meditation techniques, especially in developing countries, wherein they say, oh, meditation can cure your cancer, meditation can cure your diabetes. It can control your diabetes, it can reduce the amount of medicines that you're taking, it can take you out of your disease quickly if you use it as complementary, but it cannot replace the medication. You need to follow the advice of a physician in case you have a severe physical illness or a psychiatric illness. Please come, there is a chair here. As I have said before, those meditation techniques which work at the psyche level, at thinking level, are the ones which give you more benefit. And Raj Yoga meditation is one of them. I personally have done a lot of research on Raj Yoga meditation for different kinds of stress and stress-related illnesses. And it has been found to be very, very efficacious. Their philosophy, Brahma Kumari's philosophy of Raj Yoga meditation is so convincing, so appealing. You have to undergo 3 to 7 days course, 1 hour each, with prior appointments, and it's free of cost. This is the only meditation technique world over I have seen, this is taught free of cost, without taking any charge. So take the benefit of these Brahma Kumari sisters and brothers over here. find some time. You need to find times out from your busy schedule. Once you learn the technique of meditation, you can practice it at home or at work or wherever you are, But you have to learn it first, right? Social health, as I said before, earn enough to live. Don't live just to earn, and have relationships with everyone with whom you come in contact with. You need to have harmonious, happy relationships if you want to enjoy good social, familial health. And very important for parents, the generation next is smarter than us, right? And how to handle generation next, the kids. Yeah? I always tell parents, or the guardians, how to take care of children. Always be loving and lawful with them. Not too strict, not too loving. If you love them too much, they can be spoiled, Or if you be too strict with them, you can spoil them. Don't be too harsh, nor be too loving. Have a balance of love and law. We say balance of love and law. And that makes your family happy, especially the generation next happy. What is this all spirituality all about? Those who are highly intellectual, left brain, scientific minded people, spirituality is probably there. But they probably don't know that it's been recognized by World Health Organization. This is what consists of spirituality. If you develop awareness about yourself, about the Supreme, with the help of the Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga meditation, it improves your spiritual health. If you understand the purpose of your life, actual purpose, who are you? Why are you on this earth? Is there any other living world outside the earth? I was astonished to meet one of the scientists of NASA in California some years ago. NASA have discovered the map of universe, which is oval shaped like this. And the Brahma Kumari sisters have been teaching about universe for last 65 years, 60 years. And they have the same map with them. I asked that gentleman, the scientist, how did you find out that the universe is like this, It's there on their official website of NASA, the map of universe, oval shaped. They said we have some sophisticated, unmanned aerial shuttles and some all space shuttles. We send them into beyond the solar galaxies, into the galaxies, and we have found out the boundaries of the universe. But then he was at the Brahma Kumari Center, said, this is the same map the Brahma Kumari teach. He asked the sisters, Brahma Kumari, how did you find out? This Brahma Kumari sister very lovingly said, God has taught us. It's like that. Who God? And he started asking all this question, This is what spiritual health is all about, If you aren't open about all these other aspects of your life, beyond this world, beyond this universe, you probably cannot have the actual meaning in perspective, meaning of your life, purpose of your life. So Brahma Kumari sisters teach you about this. They are the experts, more expert than me. I won't let you go into this. If you develop mindful and loveful communication or communion or connection with the Supreme, God, He is the Father of all for sure. He is the bestower. He is there. But if we know Him with proper understanding, from whatever source, like Brahma Kumari sisters, and we develop connection or relationship with Him, then we have better spiritual health. That's what our gentleman lawyer Veer has been doing of it. I have pleasure to meet him for last few days, and he has been coming to the Brahma Kumari Center regularly and has been on the path of, improving spiritual health? Well, spiritual health is not religiosity, mind well. It's much more, it transcends all mundane levels of religious practices, right? It's here and it's universal. It is common to every human being. There are so many dimensions of life. The scientists talk about fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, you know. We have different 3D movies and things like that. Beyond 3 dimensions, there are fourth and fifth dimensions. If you think about it, while we are sitting in Washington in this meditation center right now, there's a lot of things happening in the universe as well, right? The moon is moving around the sun. The solar galaxy is moving around. We aren't aware of it, are we? But it's there. The dimension is there. And we cannot ignore it. It's a reality, right? Well, if you go into this kind of aspects of queries, which probably quenches your spiritual thirst, which gives you answers to those questions which have remained unanswered for years together, you improve your spiritual health. Scientists these days have found out certain fascinating aspects of spirituality. And they teach you now that you believe in it. You have Dr. Raymond Moody in America. You have Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. You have Brian Weiss. They're all psychiatrists like me, you know. They have done a lot of research on soul and supreme soul through hypnotic regression and out-of-body experiences and near-death experiences and other things, you know. And they teach you, believe us, soul exists in the body. You are the soul, in fact. You are not this body. And he also exists, the supreme soul. Believe in him. Of course, they give you all scientific stuff to validate what they are saying. Here the Brahma Kumaris tell you straight away, you know, the simple truth about soul, supreme soul, the world drama, the universe, and they are so fascinating. They are so scientific, though so appealing. But you have to learn at least the basics of it in order to improve your spiritual health. And Raj Yoga meditation is the one which is taught by Brahma Kumaris. It doesn't incorporate any physical postures or asanas, you know. It doesn't give you odd physical postures like dog down position, as I told you. You know, they make you like a dog. As I said, in downtown there is a down dog yoga meditation, something like that. They make you in a position like a dog and sweat you in a room which has got 95 to 100 degree Fahrenheit temperature. I mean, this kind of meditation techniques may probably be not suitable for senior citizens or those who have backaches, those who are obese. You have to have a very easy way of meditation, and this is one of them. Raja Yoga meditation is simple, no postures. You will need not close your eyes. Can be practiced with open eyes anywhere, anytime. But you have to learn the basics of it. It's also about heightened awareness about the self, as I said earlier. They give you very, very systematic lessons of the different aspects of soul, the self, the supreme, then how to develop connection with him, you know, meditation, step by step. And a very, very organized, very professional stuff. We psychiatrists consider it to be very professional. The psychiatrists and psychologists have come out with results comparing different meditation techniques. And it has been observed that a particular meditation technique, if observed and practiced as a lived faith on a daily basis, as a part and parcel of your life, it gives you the maximum benefit. If you practice meditation half an hour in the morning And if you practice it as a faith, as a lifestyle, with all its associated components, healthy behavior, healthy habits, it gives you more benefit. Needless to say, meditation has been known to decrease autonomic hyperactivity. Autonomic nervous system in the body, which produces stress. While I'm talking to you, my hand is moving, my eyes are moving, right? But I'm not conscious about my heartbeat. It's going on. My lungs are also going on. Involuntarily, without my knowledge, without my consciousness, without my knowledge. So that's autonomic autonomic system. There are certain involuntary things happening within the body, especially within the nervous system, that is known as autonomic system, and it reduces the autonomic hyperactivity. Meditation reduces autonomic hyperactivity, and that's how it produces complete physical and mental relaxation. There are many published research papers. I have also published many of the research papers on meditation, Rajayoga meditation, and this is what Brahma Kumaris is all about. They have an NGO status with the United Nations. They have consultative status with UNICEF and ECOSOC in United Nations. Brahma Kumaris are very well respected and very well recognized institution the world over. They have their centers in the Muslim countries, the communist countries, including China, Russia, and because their philosophy is simple, straightforward. It deals with here, not at your gross level. The Brahma Kumaris headquarters of America is situated in New York, and few of you might have visited it. Everybody has visited it, I guess. Yeah. That is upstate in New York, Peace Village. It's a beautiful headquarters, very, very peaceful, tranquil atmosphere. Upstate in New York, and they have many retreats happening, especially in the summertime. If you find time, 3-4 days or 2 days in a week, which is simple, which is not that difficult, I guess, you can enjoy the retreats there. They are so refreshing, so elevating, I tell you. I have been to Peace Village a couple of times myself, although I live in India, but it's a very, very, very good experience over there. So, carry home message. Balance your health. Take care of 4 types of health. Try to improve your social and spiritual health, especially in America. Okay? You are very well conscious about your physical health and mental health, but you aren't probably that conscious about your social and familial health. Improve your health, social health, improve your spiritual health. Manage your resources, time, money, space, etc., etc. Seek help in time and give help in time. There are some people who don't seek help in time. At the same time, there are some people who resist themselves to render help to others when they need help. Try to seek help and give help in time. Balance your different quotients. It's again a fashion these days to talk about emotional quotient and intelligence quotient and spiritual quotient and so forth, so on and so forth. Different kinds of quotients. They all are important, of course, and they should be in balance. Highly intellectual persons, those who have more IQ, are more prone to develop psychiatric illnesses. You know that? It has been studied, it has been researched. Similarly, those who have low IQ and more emotional quotient are also prone to develop psychiatric illnesses and stress. So always try to maintain balance between emotions and intelligence, your right brain, the left brain. And if you improve your spiritual quotient, mind well, it will improve everything. It will balance your IQ and EQ. Be wealthy and healthy, not in dollars, of course, happiness, and be blessed by the God and His messengers. The messengers are the Brahma Kumari sisters, right? America is already blessed, right? By God and the Brahma Kumari sisters, the angels, I say, they are the angels. Thank you very much.